Hey guys, so January favorites, and I'm trying to keep my favorites videos short and sweet. I really just want to feature 5 favorite products for the month, especially because I'm doing the monthly makeup baskets. If you don't follow me on Instagram, Ashley Christina or Makeup Matters for Women of Color, I'm pulling products to use each week from my stash, so I can kind of get some use out of my stash. And yeah, so that way a lot of the products that I'm using, I'm not pulling different things every day and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really kind of getting use out of things and really developing an opinion about them, right? So I just want to feature 5 favorites, and then if I have any fails, then I'll come to y'all with fails, right? So let's talk about my fails first, right? Let's talk about the best stuff. Let's get that out the way. Fails. Guys, when I tell y'all, I've had this powder since beginning of December-ish. I used it for 3 weeks straight. Could not get it to work. My under eyes constantly looked crepey. I'll put in a picture of what it looked like. It almost had a line of demarcation that was a lot lighter than my skin, and then just crepey, just looked like I was 70 years old, right? Tried, wet beauty blender, tried just dusting with a very loose brush, all kind of things. Prepped my under eyes really well, just all kind of things. I could not get this powder to work. Whole reason, I think I've talked about this on video, my Fashion Fair golden powder is nowhere to be found. I can't find it anywhere. Fashion Fair has stopped making stuff. The website's still there, but they're not selling anything, so I am searching for a powder to use under my eyes. Got this because one of my good friends raves about it, so I said, well, if she likes it, let me go ahead and try it. And yes, no, fail to the point where I'm going to be giving this or selling this or something, because I mean it's basically full. And I hate the packaging. It has the net thing. I hate that net thing. I hate and now it's trying to attack me. I hate this powder. Hate it. And then my other fail is another powder. So this is the Can't Stop Won't Stop powder from NYX, and yeah, it's too red, too deep. Just a fail. I filmed another video, but like it is just, I thought it was going to be okay because it is medium deep, but it just runs way too red. So I was really only able to use it one time. And from that one time, I couldn't use it again or whatever. So those are my 2 fails, 2 powders. Like I said, I've been on a powder surge, and I'm going to start going through my actual collection and picking things that I have in my stash to kind of see if I can use them as powders. What, Winter?
Mom,
what?
I'm just going to be super quiet.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of start going through my stash and using other things as powders, but you can't do that.
Okay.
But yeah, so those are the fails for January. Let's talk about the wins, the faves. I'll go top to bottom, or number 5 up to number 1. So 5, I tried out the Jouer High Coverage Concealer. And this concealer, first of all, I have the color Coffee, and it's a little bit on the light side, not to the point where it's bad. If you, like I said, follow me on Instagram, a lot of the pictures in the last couple weeks have been using this. I've used this for the last 2 weeks, and I really like it. I like the fact that it almost self-sets to the point where, it almost, all you have to do is really, I have lines under my eyes because, I mean, I'm old. And so you almost have to just tap out the kind of creasing. All concealers crease on me, but all you have to do is really tap it out, and you really don't have to set this. Like, I take the littlest amount of powder on this just to keep that area from not falling victim to, you know, creasing or whatever. And it's such a pretty finish. And it's just such a pretty concealer. I really like this. I don't like it as much as I like my Too Faced Multi Sculpting. That is my holy grail right now. But it is, I think I do like it better than Tarte Shape Tape, which was my number 2. So I really do like this concealer a lot. Then let's talk about this blush palette. So I am a big fan of the Juvia's Place Saharan 1 blush palette, but I got this one as part of my products panic buys before my no buy started, and I really like this. Like sugar cane, oh, I have so much product on my hand, guys. Sugar cane, and then salsa. Like where can I swatch these? Where can I swatch these? So can I swatch them here? So like that is salsa, that is sugar cane. Let's do the orange. And then Mango Tango. So those are the colors that I typically wear for blush. And sugar cane is such a pretty just topper to go. I typically will take salsa and then top it with sugar cane. I'm wearing a lot of blush today. I look very kind of, so like I'm wearing a lot of blush today. It is what it is. We all kind of get heavy-handed every now and then. So but taking salsa on top of sugar cane is just such a pretty kind of finish. I'm not wearing it today, but I really love this palette. Next, let's talk about this eyeshadow palette. So this is an oldie, the Juvia's Place Nubian 2 palette. I used this for a full week, I think the second week of January, and I was able, I'll kind of flash the looks here. I was able to come up with 5 very different looks. So when I tell y'all this palette has such, it has such variety in it. It is such a good palette. You can get so many different looks in it. You can go colorful if you want to bring in the green and the blue. You can stay neutral with a pop of color, or pop of color, or color with a pop of neutral. However you want to do it. It's such, I mean, I knew it was good because I had used it here and there, but I never really sat down and used it. And I think that is the thing that I have loved the most about this whole weekly makeup basket. I have been able to sit and use products, like really get in and use them and come up with combinations and that kind of stuff. So this eyeshadow palette has really been awesome. Next, this is an older, I guess older in makeup time, Too Faced Peach Perfect Matte Powder. This is my finishing powder. I go in with a very fluffy brush, dip it in, buff. Like today, I could have gone in, and I'm going to do it right now, and just kind of buff out some of this extra blush and kind of make it not so extra. But yeah, so I take this brush, buff it, and I will kind of put a layer of the powder on my nose, let it sit for a second, and then kind of buff that in. It is a very good mattifying powder. Now, I'm very oily, as I have said before, so it's not going to super stop the oil for me. But I know that some of the girls in my makeup group, they have said that it keeps them matte. It keeps me matte to a point. Like, I like it more than I don't, if that makes sense. I like my face more with this than without it because I stay matter longer. Okay, so really like this powder. If you're oily, you're looking for something to kind of finish your look off with. It tastes good. I don't know, there has to be like sugar or something in it because it tastes really good whenever, you know, you're buffing. And my mouth is typically open, so I'll buff and it'll fly in my mouth or whatever. But yeah, and then last, or favoritist of the month, that's not a word, but y'all know what I mean, my Prime Beauty bronzers. So I love bronzing. That's what I typically do more than contouring, and these have just been beautiful. Today I'm wearing Bronzeville. So I'm wearing Bronzeville, and I put a post up on my Instagram, And the thing about me, I'm not big into chiseled cheeks, so I'm not big into super contoury cheeks. So here's the two of them next to each other. This is Chocolate Liddy, and this is Bronzeville. I think in my Get Ready With Me that I posted, let's say last week, this was the bronzer that I used, but today I used this, and you can see that there it is a shade difference. So this right here is it's a bronzer. Like, it is, if you're deep and you need a bronzer, I highly suggest you try this, because whoo baby, it is deep. It is deep. It is a warm contour for me. That's, for me, bronzing is literally just really kind of on the same color level, color depth as my skin, just a bit warmer, or maybe a half a shade deeper than me. That's bronzing for me. This right here is a good 2, 3, 4 shades deeper than me, and it's so pretty, but I have to go in very lightly. Whereas this here, I can just get it in, get it done, and I'm good. So brown girls, definitely check out Prime Beauty. Really loving their bronzers right now. And yeah, not makeup related favorite, not beauty related favorite. I don't have any skincare favorites because I've been doing my Korean skincare. I will come with that whole video. I'm just kind of, y'all know, life. We got to figure out how to film that and all that jazz. So non-makeup related beauty, I've been trying to read a lot, get back on my reading game, and I watched You, like many people, last month. I watched You on Netflix. It's based off a book, okay? The TV show, my God, yo, finished that in like 2 days. Watched it straight through. Joe is cray. Like, I was just like, wow, I need to private all of my social medias out here. Like, what in the world is this dating nowadays? Like, I can't, right? And then watched that and was so intrigued. I have a friend, she read the book, You. I didn't know it was from a book. So she read the book and said the book was so much better. So I read the book, and the book was so good. You. That book was so good. Joe is very different. He has sex on the brain a lot more. That didn't come through on the TV show. He had sex on the brain a lot, and that kind of, I was kind of like, huh. But the book is it's so good. It's so good. And then the other book that I read this month is called Big Magic. It's on the self-help type vein. It's basically opening yourself up to your ideas and not being afraid to kind of live in those ideas and follow those ideas through fruition. And by ideas, like any creative, that's really what the book focused on, creative endeavors, things that, you know, more like passion type projects that aren't going to, at the moment, bring you monetary success, if that makes sense. The lady that wrote Eat, Pray, Love, which apparently I need to read because I've never read, but she wrote the book, and it was just, it's a really good, I feel like anyone who has a creative streak, has a kind of creative, whether it's making something or doing, you know, whatever it is, kind of read that, and kind of, it'll kind of help you to open yourself up to what it is, you know, open yourself up to the possibilities that your creativeness could offer, and open yourself up to what is out there for you, if that makes sense. It's a very good book, highly recommend it. Very quick read. But yeah, so those are my favorites for January. Would love to know what your favorites are for this past month. As we head into February, I think this video will be up before it. So as we head into February, I'm starting all black everything February. I did this last year where I'm spending the majority of, or majority. I'm spending all of February highlighting black owned brands, and I do this all through the year. Like, black owned brands are a part of my repertoire. I use them all through the year, but in February for Black History Month, I make it a point to only use black owned brands on my face. So I filmed the first video of All Black Everything February today, hence the shirt. I support black businesses, black people, black movements. Y'all know I wore this last year, but it is what it is. We repeat outfits on this channel because why? We're real people. Okay, so All Black Everything February will be starting. I will continue kind of my declutters and all that stuff, so that will be the only videos not featuring only black owned products. But if you see me on screen talking to y'all, I will have a full face of black owned products. I'll list what I use today in the description box. And then, yeah, so all right guys, hope you enjoyed my favorites. Please let me know what you liked for the month of January, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.